Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Coach JC. Everyone gather around. Should be a good one today. Today's topic is: if a man is legally married to his wife, don't fall for the sales pitch. Bottom line: if a man is legally married to his wife, he's approaching you. He know he's married. You know he hasn't made no arrangement to get a divorce, get separation from his wife. You fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for it unless he's actively in the process of getting a divorce. You see court papers, you see document, or he hasn't really had contact with his ex-wife for the past 4 or 5 months, or one time they talk is when it's regarding their children, etc. Then don't waste your time dealing with a man like that. You want to deal with a man who's healthy, who's he get a divorce or they're separated, then you know for sure that he's not talking to his wife unless it's pertaining to something major important, or it's regarding their children. Other than that, it's a no go. Don't fall for the okie doke, and don't just be the other woman just to satisfy him. Because like I said, not fun to be the other woman. 9 times out of 10, he's gonna choose his wife over you. So don't fall for it. And the ways to prevent yourself in a predicament and just to ask the questions up front, about him, his ex-wife situation. You gotta talk to her and see, not talk to her, but talk to him and see what's going on. A lot of guys that sit there and run games, and a lot of guys that are married, they won't even put on the wedding ring, which is honesty and loyalty to that juncture as well too. So just be aware of all that. Be conscious, be very self-aware of ours. Don't just listen to a man tell you, but really go by the action. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, out and about, I always tell people I'm married, happily married. I'm like, I don't really entertain people at all, even when I'm trying to get sales part of books and stuff, let people know, hey, I'm married, this and that. And I like to offer people my book and stuff. But I let people know up front. That way I don't waste nobody's time. I ain't looking for nothing. I'm happily married, 5 years. I'm already good. But like I said, I don't really put myself out there, so I don't really have a whole lot to worry about. But a lot of guys I know, they're not really built like me. They'll just lie to you just to lie, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, well, I didn't know you was married. Or some women, they'll know that the man's married and they still try to latch on to him, which I never understood. And like I said, never understood the importance of being the other woman in a man's life. Why watch out to put yourself in a predicament, and too many people that be stabbed, too many shootings go on because of, you being the other woman. Like I said, me, I like peace, like quietness. I don't like to deal with a whole lot of drama. I don't like to deal with a whole lot of people anyway. So, like I said, I really had an issue with my end, but like I said, a lot of people, they like to, like that challenge, that risk. I'm not risking my life for nobody, nothing like that. So it's just a big thing right there. And just try to make sure that you do marry, if you do get with somebody who's divorced, or if he's in the process of, getting a divorce, then, it's okay if you guys sit down and talk about situations. But you gotta prove to you that, hey, I had no contact with her, going on contact for 4 or 5 months, maybe a year or two. And like I said, I moved on from the situation. I learned from it, have remorse. I had nothing bad to say about her. It's just, the time was right for us to separate and go on our own direction. But like I said, a lot of times you won't get that. You won't get honesty. You won't get truthfulness. And none of them stuff's on big being honest, be truthful, just be upfront with the situation. Because nobody likes to know things afterwards. They don't have to be married. You don't even got to be divorced. You can be just in a relationship. Just let people know what's what. Like I said in the last video about Stephen A. Smith, he's telling you, hey, I'm not married. I'm not looking to get married. I can't stay faithful. He's gonna let you know. You want to choose to deal with me, that's on you. So let's say man tells you he's married and you feel like, hey, I got something that his wife can't give him, or bring it to him, or he's constantly complaining about his ex-wife, this and that. That's a red flag, and that's a no-go for me. I wouldn't really get involved too heavily with him. Wouldn't even really be his friends, maybe just associates, maybe just workers. But I'm not really getting myself down the rabbit hole. What's your thoughts about the situation? Have you ever been the other woman? What that experience been like? Feel free to comment below. Until next time out, Coach JC.